Hello everyone, welcome back to the Essential SQL series. Today we are going to learn about another important concept of alias. Now throughout the series so far you might have noticed that in various situations the output has very lengthy column names, especially sum of total, or in the recent video we have also seen when I'm using case condition it's the exact column name. With that, two things happen. One is the column name is too lengthy and looks very bad, and second is that it doesn't make any sense for a user. So for giving more understanding to these outputs and to avoid any confusions, the concept of alias can be used. Now aliases are used to give table or column a temporary name by which we can call them for future references. Let's look at the syntaxes first and then we will discuss a bit further. So for table name alias, you can simply declare table name space whatever the alias name you want to use, and then whenever we want to call a column from that table, simply use that alias name dot column 1. Now you can see the table name is long and alias is small. You can also use a very simple standard alphabet and that should also work. So you can call the column names with that. This will be used when we are going to use more than one tables in a single query, which we will learn soon. Next is column name. When we are declaring column names which are very lengthy or we are using formulas there, at the end output we want to give a meaningful column name. For those scenarios, we can use the alias name by mentioning everything under column. After that, use the keyword as and alias name whatever we want to display. Now another benefit of using the alias especially on table names would be when we are using two tables or more tables, these alias helps to identify where the data is coming from which table. And when you're going to read lengthy SQL statements, you don't need to go through each table again and again to understand where does the column lie. You can simply use the alias to identify which table was used for that. And this will also avoid error, especially when the same exact column name is available in more than one table. So let's look at the alias concept in practice. I'll just go through the same statement which we used in the previous video once, and you can see the column name is pretty long and doesn't make much sense to us. Case when statements, count of total. So what we can do is with the same thing, as you can see on the column name, I simply used bucket and region as the alias names, and for count of total I used number of invoices, and for the invoices table I simply used I as the alias. Please make sure that the alias name always starts with alphabet. It can contain numeric characters but not as the first digit. If you are using more than one words in the alias, do not separate them by space but use underscore to separate them instead. Then when you see in the group by, I am using the same statement. However, for the column name alias is not necessary in the group by statement, and I am not using any alias for table in the group by. However, I have been using it in the select statement. The reason I am doing is I wanted to just show that if I am using only one table, alias is not necessary. So this and this will be the same. However, it is advised to use alias everywhere when you are using more than one table. So let's look at the output now. As you can see, it looks much more cleaner with a shorter alias name or column name, which is also more meaningful. Just try this for yourself and keep in mind the concept of alias when you're querying, which will help you a lot. That's it for the video. Thank you.